All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Pin High Philadelphia Golf Show. I'm Francesca. I'm sure you know that by now. I really appreciate anybody who's taken the time to subscribe and give us a follow on social media. We are on Spotify and across all the broadcasting platforms for podcasting. Now, the weather's really good right now. I'm probably going to go out and practice. I just signed up for the BMW Gap Match. It's my very first tournament, I think, in about 15 years. I'm really excited to put all my mouth to the game, and let's just see how we're going to be able to do. We're 4 handicap right now. I'm working to get a scratch and to become a scratch basically before the end of the golf season. I think I can do that. But enough about me. Who cares? I'm so excited to talk about today's guest because there is some kind of an adjacent content collab that has been going on from all of you guys sending me his videos. He's built up, I think, one of the funniest characters on the internet right now. His following is growing. It's exceptional what he's created, original. As someone who spends a lot of time roasting country club culture and private equity golfers, this conversation just feels a little long overdue. Johnny, welcome to Pin High Philly, aka PE guy.
Thank you for having me.
Now, did I pronounce your last name correctly? Partridge?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, that's just like Johnny Partridge. Like, what is your background? Because that kind of just sounds like a private equity guy.
Doesn't
You
it?
inherited something. Yeah,
I'm,
it's got that flair.
my background is not in anything fancy. Like my career background is not. I'm like I guess for the last 10 years I was a fitness instructor at SoulCycle and Barry's for a little bit.
Okay.
So I was a SoulCycle instructor. I worked at like a startup wellness company for a few years, but I don't have. I feel like I should be like I worked at, Morgan Stanley for a decade or in PE, and people are like shocked to find out that I don't actually have any affiliation with PE at all.
That's hilarious. Like, so you write your own material.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. When did this whole PE guy persona become a thing? And I'm pretty sure you've like explained this a million times over, but like, what the
That's
heck?
okay.
It's
It
so
started in
funny.
March. PE guy was born in March of 2025,
Okay.
but he started as the guy you get stuck talking to at a wedding. And he was not PE guy. He was just like that guy. And he was like this like bragging, obnoxious personality. But
Yeah.
a few weeks later, I was like, I got to give him a job. I made him a PE guy because it had a good ring to it. And I was like, all right, he's PE guy. And then that kind of like made this like waterfall of like, okay, like now there's a whole conversation about PE because it's everywhere. And it kind of was it was a good idea to make him PE guy because he's stirred the pot a lot.
Do people tell you look like Ben Affleck? Because the entire time I'm like trying to figure out
So thank
who you
you.
look like.
I have heard that before, it's very nice. I'm honored.
Okay. You're welcome. Where are you located?
I'm in Boston.
Okay, so you look like Ben Affleck,
Yeah,
and
I
you're
guess.
in Boston.
Yeah. That's funny. I actually had never thought about that. Yeah.
Okay, good. There's something original for you. I need
Yeah.
to ask you this. Okay, so we're talking about PE guy. So what was the one video you made where you thought, okay, this could totally be a thing?
Honestly, I feel like I'm going to say the first one
Okay.
because the first one, like overnight, did really well. And I was like, what? And then, and then and I think I had that what kind of feeling, but like, is this a thing for
Yeah.
the first like 3 weeks? And I was posting a video every 2 or 3 days, like a new
Okay.
one. And I had that kind of like, what? This isn't real. This will stop. This will go away. So I guess I would say like when I got my first brand deal in May of last year, I was like, this is a thing, or this could be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so May of last year, that's when I was like, okay, this could be like a bigger thing than just like making silly videos on the internet.
Now, what's so funny to me is you probably, once you made your video, then the comments started coming. Did you expect, like, what was the funniest thing or wildest thing that you got from, like, I guess, everyday finance bros? Like, walk me through how people were receiving your content initially and how they are now.
I think it's been pretty positive for the most part. In the beginning, I think people were like, "This is hilarious. This is like every guy you could start talking to, whatever." But then when I
Yeah.
gave him the PE job and started getting very specific, I think I gave the opportunity to like the opportunity to offend somebody like kind of came up because anybody can be offended by anything nowadays. But I feel like, but so when I said PE, some people might see that and go like, oh, they might not even watch the video. They're like, this is just someone making fun of me because I'm in PE. And it's like, no, you know, it's not
Right.
really. Or if I do a video about
Mhm.
Philly, the main line, someone might go like, I don't want to see someone trashing my town, you know, and it's like, well, that's not really what's happening here. It's just
Right.
so I think it's evolved obviously. So it's mainly positive still, but I think that there's more opportunity. The more I mention, the more specific I
Mhm.
get, the more chances someone's going to go like, I don't like that because he mentioned my club. And it's like, well, I'm not trying to be, you know, if you actually watch them, you realize I'm just saying where I
Right.
go. It's not to say
Right.
everybody that goes to that club is PE guy, but it's just it kind of just adds legitimacy to him. So if it's your club and you belong there, that means it's the best
Exactly.
in town because that's where PE guy goes. So you should actually be honored, really.
Exactly. Because you're mentioning them. I want to talk about mainline PE guy because that was the one video that so many people sent over to me because I just posted a club roast video of me roasting Philly Cricket, Marion, Gulf Mills, a slew of mainline country clubs, Aronimink. So your video came into my DMs when I posted that video. And I have to ask you, how did you like know? Like what made you pick mainline? Because that is like niche
Yeah.
for that area. But like there's still so many people consuming our content in that
Yeah.
regard.
I remember it was like probably July or August of last year when I first did the Philly mainline because I had so many DMs from people. That's when you see a video, it means that I've gotten a bunch of DMs from people saying you've got to do this area. So I know
Yeah.
nothing about Philly, but I kept seeing Philly mainline, Philly mainline. So I was like, you know what? So I went through and I searched mainline in my DMs and I was just screenshotting and like you know like record or copying and pasting into like a note, a Google Drive or whatever for a script. So like I was like realizing
Mhm.
a lot of people there was a lot of overlap and there were hundreds of messages about Philly mainline. So I was like, all right,
Yeah.
these people wanted this so bad and I know nothing about it, but and I didn't know. I
Yeah.
was like, I just said like a few things and people were like, this is so accurate. And I'm like, you know, I'm glad. But the reason I picked that was because it
Yeah.
was like one of the top requested at the time videos. People were like, you gotta, and I'm glad I did because I hear from people all the time, like, you nailed the Philly main line. I'm from here. I went to school there, whatever it is. And they're like, you nailed it. And I'm like, okay, I love it.
No, you really did. And I think like I can't remember if the timing of when I posted my video and then when I received yours. So that was when, and I posted, that was my first one. I posted that last August. That was when people were telling me, you need to have, you guys need to collab. You need to meet Johnny, PE guy. And I gotta ask you, do people recognize you? Because you look like kind of like hot right now. But
Oh my God, thank you.
no offense, when you're like when you're doing your content, you make that face.
Well,
It's
the face is
freaking
a filter.
ridiculous.
The face is a filter, thankfully. So I can't make
Okay.
my face look like that. But he,
Okay.
I get recognized now, like, which is great. People at like airports are like, I'm sorry to stop you, but are you a PE guy or you must be? And I'm like, no, I love this. So I get recognized and I really do love it because it's mostly people just coming up to me being like, hey, you did Philly mainline. I loved it. Or like, hey, you made me a cameo and it was like the best gift I ever got. Like, you make me laugh so much. I'm like, this is like amazing. We're talking about, you know, it's not controversial. It's just like people being
Yeah,
like, you make me laugh. I love that. And I'm like, of course I want you to interrupt me and say that, you know? So
exactly.
I'm always honored when people do recognize me and say, hey.
Exactly. And it's social media. It's supposed to be the most unserious thing. Like
Right.
there's really no point to this.
Yeah.
What were some of the wildest DMs that you got?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I feel like,
By the way, we're gonna go like this is we're full on maxing. You can vent to me here. This stays between us. Like
yeah.
just some wild
Well, so
DMs.
I think like I think I get a lot of oversharing from people that will be like, my ex-husband worked in PE, so I love your content. And then I'm like, thank you. And then they go off on like all the things that the ex-husband did and why they're divorced. And like people tell me like the most like personal things about their life. And I'm like, but I will say that and the messages are pretty good. They're pretty positive, which is great. But there's probably just a lot of oversharing. Every once in a while, someone's like, fuck you, you're not funny. And I'm like, okay, great. Right. Thank you. I'm just like,
what are you posting, bro? Like,
yeah,
okay.
Thank you. You have 0 posts. Like I'm just like, all right. So I'm learning to develop a thick skin there. I think more than the DMs, the cameos that I make for people, I get crazy requests there. Like people will be like, roast my friend, like be ruthless, say this, say this, say this. Like I have to say these things. And then tell my husband I'm pregnant, like ask my brother to be my best man. Like pretend you're the one. Was like a guy had gotten divorced and his wife had her new boyfriend move in like immediately. And they were like, the friends of this guy were like, we want you to pretend to be the new boyfriend who moved in and like talk about how comfortable his bed is and how much you love what they did with the house. And like, just like funny stuff like that, where I'm like, is this real? Like,
no.
So there's some funny stuff like that where people are just like very trusting in me with like very personal things like that. Or where they want me to make light of things or roast friends. I'm like, I hope that this friend that's getting roasted is not just like devastated by this. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Like, that's so funny. Like the oversharing is so real.
Yes.
Any famous people slide in your DMs? I need to know.
I think I'm trying to think of like if any famous person has ever like messaged me first, but I think if anyone famous follows me and I notice it, I usually try to reach out to them. I usually follow them back if I'm not already following them. And then I try to reach out to them, except some people I like leave, especially political people. I try to leave alone because I don't want to freak anybody out. I also don't want anybody to, I don't want it to be polarizing where somebody feels like they're not welcome because we don't agree politically. So we don't go there. And like, but like, I'm trying to think of like Kirk Herbstreit follows me and he like, I like message him about his like golden retrievers. Some people, I had a podcast. I did like a 10 episode podcast and I had like as many people that followed me that I like felt were famous or fame adjacent. I would just message like the most random people. But I would say, I'm trying to think of like the most famous person that follows me that I know of is like probably, aside from political people, like maybe Johnny Manziel. He's pretty famous.
That's a really good one.
Yeah. And I'm like, when these people follow me, I have some friends who are like creators and they have some people that follow them. And I'm like, I don't want to ever go check to see if they still follow me because I'm like nervous that I'm going to like go and be like, oh, this person follows me. And then they've like unfollowed me. That'll ruin my day. But yeah, like,
no.
There's just like, I also like to think that there's some famous people that have like Finstas, where it's like, so I'm like, oh, maybe there's some, because of all the people that see my stuff, I'm like, I bet there's some actual famous people out there who are just like LOLing at this, but they don't want to be, they don't want to click like from their Kim Kardashian account, or whatever.
Exactly. Do you think to yourself, okay, I wonder what A-list celebrity is right now, like taking a shit on a toilet, laughing at my video, liking my video, and they're doing it through their Finsta. Like, where does your mind go to the one person who's doing that? If you had to like hope for that.
The one person in the world that's doing it.
Yeah.
For some reason, my mind always goes to, I'm not like a crazy Kardashian fan, but I like them. I have a lot of respect for them. For some reason, I think of the Kardashians. Like I imagine the Kardashians being like, this is funny. Like I just I'm like sending it along to each other and like being like LOL. For some reason, that's like the one that I go to. And maybe it's because somebody like mentioned that they knew that like Kim actually has a fake thing or something like that. But because then all the other people that I really would love to see my stuff are like not famous enough where they like need a Finsta. It would be like like other comedians that I like have a lot of respect for, like a Will Ferrell or like like Rachel Dratch, like kind of like random SNL people. Like those people don't need like a Finsta, you know.
Oh,
But maybe they've
yeah.
got them. Yeah,
They probably, you never know.
that's true.
You
You really,
mentioned, no, you like truly never know. You mentioned partnerships, like the whole social media thing. Are you doing this full time now?
this is my full-time gig. Yeah.
What are the partnerships looking like? Are they like in proximity with your content? Like, how do you go about, I guess, like
Most of
vetting that
them,
out? Do you have a process?
most of them are like they want a video, like uh, you know, Instagram 60-90 second video on Instagram
Right.
that we collab, and they have 30 days of usage rights to it. Like, and they're pretty, the brands are pretty like flexible, and it's usually like we want you to take the reins and like write the script and then we'll approve it. Some brands are a little more strict and like don't want to have as much fun. But at the end of the day,
I
I'm like, if you're
know.
willing to pay me, I'll say whatever you want. And like, I don't know what that makes me, but I'm like, I will do whatever you say. Like, you're paying me to do
Yeah.
this, I'll drop it. Like, I can be bought. It's no problem.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No, I mean, that's so valid. There are, it just, you know what I don't like, and it's so frustrating. Doing collaborations, there has to be a certain level of mutual agreement on the number of approvals and
yeah,
edits you can do on a video. Have you, I mean, as a creator who's dealt with this several times, have you worked with brands who were like, oh no, this wasn't funny enough. Oh no, redo this. Oh no, redo that. And you're looking at your email chain, it's 70 emails
yeah.
for just
I
a
have,
freaking 45-second video.
and they're so specific. A lot of them are very specific things that I'm like, you know, this doesn't matter. Like, they're
Yeah.
like, you feel, it seems like you're rushed in this take. I'm like, well,
What? Now
I
they're a
kind
director?
of am, 'cause I see the data. I see how quickly people drop off when they realize it's an ad. So I might as well try to spit out the name of the company first, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely have a couple. There's been a couple companies like that. And then there's a few that are just like, it's almost like, I'm like, did you even watch that? Like, they're like, approved, post it tomorrow, you know? Like, um,
Mm,
so so I see both ends of the spectrum there.
got you. I gotta ask you, what's next? Are you currently adding more characters to your base? Like, do you see a podcast, stand-up comedy? What are you working
I'm
towards?
slowly I'm open to any and all things, like a
Okay.
potential like live situation where I can maybe like have some sort of like mask created so I can look a little bit more like him, something like that. And then you know, maybe bringing back my podcast, continuing to like evolve the character and his life, but also at the same time like bringing in more of me as like the other person talking to him, just to get my face out there a little bit more, just
I
like,
love
you
that.
know, like a little bit more of me. And then other characters are really fun for me. I don't know that it's like what the audience wants, but I'm also like, you know, I think people are pretty forgiving on the internet. There's a few loud people who, when I post a new character, will be like, stick to PE guy. And I'm like, you know what? Like, if you really are that upset about it, you can unfollow me. But like, I don't think that
Oh.
so it's what keeps people from being creative, though, that feeling of like, I found my thing, I need to stay in my lane. And I
Mhm.
know PE guy will always be here and he'll be the main show probably for a while, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't try other things. So I need to remind myself of that and just like try other things. And if they don't do well, it's like,
Mhm.
okay, what is not doing well? It gets 50,000 views instead of 150. Like, okay, like, and then you're gonna post another thing tomorrow and everyone's gonna
Yeah.
forget. We all have goldfish brains anyways, you know?
Goldfish brains. I'm gonna pocket that one. That's so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That is so true. And it's also like the most unserious thing. And sometimes these comments, I'll look at my comment section and they're like, oh, you've done these course reviews already, or you're wrong, or you're dumb. I'm like, I know, I'm a big dummy. Just keep
Yeah. Yeah.
engaging with my video. Did you
Yeah.
feel like you almost had to like do a little 180 in your thinking on negative feedback? Because for me, I said to myself, oh, they're really tearing me up. But guess what? The video got 500,000 views.
Right.
Has that been interesting for you or no?
Yeah, I've definitely tried to like step back and be like, all right, at least this is engagement, this like bad comment. Or I will take the comment, look at the person's profile, like
Mhm.
post their profile picture and their comment, and then do a character of them saying what they just said to me, which is the ultimate like way to disarm somebody. Like I'm just like, you said this totally unhinged thing to a person that you don't know on the internet, this thing that you wanted to like hurt somebody intentionally. And how horrible is that? Number one. Number two, I'm going to do it back to you even worse. Like I'm going to like make you a character because you're so unhinged. Like you, in my mind, you lose the like ability to like have like me respect you. Like once you've crossed that, I'm like, I will just like, but I do have to be careful not to get too caught up in that because it is negativity. However you slice it, it's negative. So I don't want to put too much negativity out there. But every once in a while, I have fun with the bad comments.
No, I love it. There's a lot of private equity, people in private equity who play golf. Have
Yes.
there been any opportunities for crossovers? Now, this is a bit of a crossover because of
Yeah.
the nature of my golf content and yours are rather similar.
Yeah.
Any opportunities in the golf space? You just did a video on US Open.
There have been a lot of, I get invited to a lot of golf things. Like I was invited to the US Open any day I wanted. And I said I was busy because I am, but I wasn't that excited about it, which is sad. I don't golf really. I golf very poorly. So, but I'm trying to get back into it because I'm like, I feel like I have had so many opportunities. People will just message me and be like I've been invited on people's planes to go golf at like in South Carolina, like with them. They're like, "Do you want to come on our boys trip and golf?" And I'm like, "That's so nice of you, but I would ruin that because you'd be like, why this guy sucks at golf." Like, so I've had a lot of opportunities. I haven't taken them up because, but I do know that if I get better at golf, the sky's the limit. Like I could go wherever right now because so many people are like, wouldn't it be fun to bring PE guy on our like boys trip?
Yeah.
And so I've had a lot of things like that, not necessarily collabs with like golf brands are pretty stuffy. I think, like I don't think like Titleist wants to like have PE guy's face on their, like they're very just like golf has like a buttoned up culture. And I think it's kind of going away. It's not going away, but I think that there's room for other, there's like space for other kinds of like content and people out there. But I think that the golf brands have been very like quiet and I mention them all the time and like I'm wearing their stuff and I see, people will be like, I'm going to reach out to my buddy who works here. Then it's radio silence. I'm like, I'm sure they're like, no way do we, want to take that comedic angle.
If PE guy was a golfer, let's just say he's a golfer because of all the golf content. If PE guy was on the golf course, he belonged to a country club, what do you think his handicap would be? What kind of golfer do you think he would be?
Well, he historically has said that he's a scratch golfer. So he just says that, like, and that just like was something I said once, and I was like, and it stuck. So he's a scratch golfer, and then he just like demeans anybody who's not, or he's like, he'll be like, like when I make cameos, it'll be like, a lot of people will be like, my husband's like golf, he's okay at golf. Like, and then I'll be like, oh, like Bill, I'd love to play with you, but I'm a scratch golfer. And I hear you're not very good, like, so he uses that as another like flex. Everything he says is a flex. So I think he is the kind of person though, that like, he's good at golf, but like, I feel like if you try to get him to like run a mile, it would be not good,
That's so funny. Do you think he would? Okay, but he puts his money where his mouth is. So he says he's a scratch golfer. He'll go out and play, and he's shooting scratch.
Yeah, apparently. Wow. That's it remains to be seen though. Like that. See, there's a video there, like where he goes out and it's actually me golfing, and you would be like, that guy's horrible at golf. Like so. There's a video. That's the other part of it. Like everything he says is so absurd that it's like possibly there's potential that it's impossible what he's saying. So I birdied that hole and like people are like, there's no way no one does that, like he just flexes things that are impossible. So I think he could, there's a video right there. I'm going to write that down after this, like go golfing.
There's a video right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh my God. And I think there's a term for that. There's people who in the golf space, I think they like lie about their handicap So that way they can either get more points or more strokes, I should say. And I think they're called sandbaggers. So we just confirmed that PE guy is not a sandbagger,
Right.
correct? I love it. How are your like family, your family, like friends, how are they reacting to your content blowing up the way that it has blown up?
I think everyone's a little like shocked just in general, being like I just like, how is this like still going? Like it's been a year and few months. Like, how is this still going? They're like happy for me, but I think they're like, the internet is like crazy. Like this is just wildfire. So I think they're shocked that it's still going. But anyone who really knows me knows that I've always been like just very like silly on the internet and just in person. Like I don't take anything too seriously. So no one's shocked by the content. No one's shocked that I'm comfortable putting my face looking like that out on the internet. They're like, yeah, that sounds like Johnny, you know?
Okay.
So they're shocked by like what's happened with it. They're like, whoa. But I think they're like, yeah, another day. Like Johnny's just, you know.
I'm cracking up. That's really funny. Are you testing out any new characters right now?
What was the one that I did the other day? There's a couple. I just posted a reel like a couple days ago that's like a few different like Snapchat filters, but
I love
there's
it.
not like
Yeah.
one
Oh, yeah. I
specific.
saw it.
There's not one specific like, oh, new like hedge fund guy, or there's nothing like that, but we'll see.
What do you hope to build with this by like the end of this year, next 5 years? I know I asked you a similar question, but like I know you say you're open to anything, but do you also have like a set plan for this? Because to amass a following of just over 100,000, you're at 300,000 and then some.
Yeah.
You got to have like, are people reaching out, agencies?
Yeah. So I'm like represented by UTA, United Talent Agency,
Yep.
on like a non-exclusive, no contract situation, but they bring me stuff and they're there for like future growth stuff. So I think there's potential for the brand deals will continue being a thing and like a revenue source. The cameos will always be a thing and a revenue source. The merch, things like that, in-person appearances, those things will always be there. But I think for new stuff in the pipeline, like possibly a book, possibly the podcast comes back, possibly in person, like stand up kind of vibe. But it's still, it's been a year, it's been 15 months or whatever. It's new, but it's also not. But where it is now, I mean, the last year has been just in the numbers of the followers and the likes and the impressions and the money. I'm like, this is amazing. Like, let's do it again times 3 next year. And so I think I just kind of have to like remember. I also do have to remember like we started this to have fun and to make people laugh. So we got to make sure we're always doing that. So,
I love that.
but
Yeah.
it's always about like making people laugh and making the internet a better place, and not, and so never make it about something other than that. So
I couldn't agree more. Out of all the platforms that you post on, what do you think is probably the most, I guess, forgiving? Do you get more success on Instagram versus TikTok, vice versa? What's your take on that?
I think I have more success on Instagram. Just like all of my brand deals are Instagram first. Every once in a while they're like cross posted to TikTok, but I think that they are more interested in Instagram. And then TikTok, I have like almost 100,000 followers. Instagram is like 346 or something. So I think there's more people there. There's more engagement there. But I would be willing, like TikTok's a place that I'd be more willing to try like a video that I would be nervous to post on Instagram. Cause I'm just like, I
Okay.
don't feel like I know that audience. I don't DM with people on TikTok. I don't like really engage, but Instagram, like I am like answering messages all day. I am like engaging with them. Like I see people pop up in the comments. I'm like, I know that person. That doesn't really happen in my TikTok.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with that. I have a bigger following on my TikTok, but I feel, and I'm just like I'm ready to hit like 50,000 on my Instagram. I've got more than double on TikTok, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, it's difficult to get engagement, like private DMs, and even get business from TikTok. I
Yeah.
think that it's more fruitful on Instagram, which is so funny to me how that works. There's
Yeah.
more brands on Instagram. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. And I don't know. There's something about it that I think there's just a little more trust in like even me before this started, like I would probably be more willing to buy something on Instagram or take a brand seriously on Instagram. I think TikTok feels like younger and less like trustworthy in a way. And I'm saying that wrong because it's
Yeah.
not meant to be, but like I think that, and there was all that stuff with like it being Chinese owned, and like people were nervous that like it was like China spying on us, and I was like, I believe everything I read, so I was like, am I being? And now it's like owned by somebody in America, whatever. But I think it just has this like thing about it for me that I can't really, like if it went away, I wouldn't be like devastated. If Instagram went away, I'd be in big trouble. Yeah.
No, I like that. I really do feel the same way. Were you what were you posting before this? Like, were you more of like a social creator,
No,
or just like
I was
you weren't posting
always
at all?
no, I was always like funny stuff. But it
Okay.
was like to 7,000 followers, like for years. Like I had 5 to 7,000 followers for like 10 years or whatever it was. Like, and I
Mm.
was always posting like ridiculous stuff. That's what I mean. Like people who know me or followed me are like, yeah, this is par for the course. Cause I was always like, just, I would make like a funny video here and there. And like, just, it was,
Mhm.
yeah. So I don't know, not really a surprise that like I'm continuing to try to be a comedian on Instagram.
No, all good. Do you have any plans to come to Philly?
I have to get back to Philly because my friends at Lamborghini Philadelphia, I've made a couple of videos with them and they're awesome. So I got to come back and play around in a Lamborghini sometime soon in the next few months.
How funny would it be if I can get you on a prestigious Philly golf course on the main line?
It'd be
How
perfect.
funny would that be?
That'd be amazing. Let's
Want to
do
try
it.
to shoot for that? I think we
Yeah,
can do that.
that'd be
I
amazing.
know for a fact I can get that to happen for
Perfect.
you.
I love that.
Okay.
That'd be excellent.
All right, you have to, all right, we'll definitely stay in touch. Are you down to do a little rapid fire?
Yeah,
Turn the brain off
of course.
before
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
perfect. We're gonna do a little rapid fire. It's more of like a this or that. First
Hmm.
thing that comes to your brain, just blurt it out. You ready?
Yep.
All right, Greenwich or Palm Beach?
Greenwich.
LinkedIn or Instagram?
Instagram.
Country club or networking event?
Country club.
Private jet or yacht?
Yacht.
I don't know if I can ask you this. Favorite golf course you've ever played?
Probably one of my like parents' country clubs when I was like 12.
Okay, then you need to come to Philly. I can get, all right, Aronimink, you know what to do. We're gonna make this
Perfect.
happen.
Perfect. Deal.
Most most PE guy city in America.
Oh, it has to be New York City.
I
It
think
does.
you might be right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gotta be New York. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I won't argue with that. Most PE guy phrase of all time.
Oh, I would say like it's substantial. Like it's substantial. Like when he's talking
It's
about it, it's substantial. Like what I'm doing is substantial. Like the money is substantial.
It's substantial. It's
Yeah.
substantial. I
Yeah.
love it. Oh my God. One thing finance guys need to stop doing.
Oh gosh. Wearing vests? Yeah, I think so.
I think that's good. I was
Yeah.
gonna say quarter zips, but I don't mind a good quarter zip. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They're
Yeah,
not
like,
bad.
if I'm looking at someone in a quarter zip or a bunch of people in a quarter zip or a bunch of people in a vest, I'd rather look at
Yeah.
the bunch of people in quarter zips. Yeah.
Okay, clock it. Same. Okay. If PE guy retired tomorrow, what would he do next?
Oh my gosh. He would just like indulge his lifestyle. He would golf, he would like go to Europe,
Okay.
he would be jetting around, golfing and like eating well and drinking finest wines in the world.
Works for me. I need to be best friends with PE guy. All
Right?
right.
Yeah.
We'll take care of the golf over here. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you this. Where can people find your content?
Well, I'm at Johnny Hilbrant at JOHNNYHILBRANT on TikTok and Instagram and like,
Mhm.
YouTube and what's the other one? LinkedIn is another place I'm like testing some content. So,
How are you doing that on LinkedIn? Oh my God, that's crazy.
well, a few months back, I just was like, can I post on LinkedIn like a parody stuff? And then I was like, why not? And I did. And I just basically like post like ridiculous things that are like that could be normal, could be a real post, like someone being like, like leadership. Like, here's 4 things I learned about leadership when I was at my ski chalet in Aspen. Like it's that kind of content. But it's as PE guy. So it's a totally different format, obviously, and totally different shtick. I don't post videos there. I more so post like static, like a whatever.
Yeah.
And it's doing pretty well.
What kind of feedback are you getting on LinkedIn? Just curious.
Feedback on LinkedIn is really good. In the very beginning, people were like, keep this stuff off LinkedIn. This is a serious place. And I literally was like, says who? Says who? Like someone was like, I remember someone being like messaging me on Instagram being like, I saw you're on LinkedIn. Like I love your stuff, but like it's not meant for there. And I was just like, says who? Are you the hall monitor? Like, no. I'm gonna just
the LinkedIn police?
Yeah, like I'm just gonna do whatever I want. Thank you.
Wow. People just have too much time on their hands, honestly. But then the people who we say have too much time on their hands will tell us that we have too much time on our hands.
Right, of course.
Who knows? Johnny, I really appreciate you taking the time to join us on the Pinhole Philadelphia Golf Show.
Thank you for having me. Yeah. To be continued.
To be continued. Stay tuned, guys. A collabs in the future.
Yeah.
Thank you, Johnny. Take
care. Thank you.